In this video, we will look at how to do video analysis when there are two moving objects. In this case, we will be looking at the collision of two carts, one of which is stationary. As usual with video analysis, I first go to Insert in Logger Pro and insert the movie. Click on the video analysis button, do the usual. I set up an origin and my axes. Here I'm using the blackboard as rectilinear axes. You can see there's parallel and horizontal. I set up my scale. You can see that there is, oops. You can see that there is a handy ruler that has been placed here. So I'll mark that. And then finally, because I will have two moving objects in this video, I go here to the Set Active Point button, and I click on it. You can see that there's an option, Add Point Series. I click on that. And now if I click on it again, you can see that there is a point series XY and a point series X2, Y2. So these will be the two sets of points that I'll be tracking. I'll go to point series XY, click on that, then click on the Add Point button. Advance the video until the incoming cart is visible and is on the horizontal flat stretch. And then, as usual, I'll start marking off the points. Each time I click, it marks a point and advances the video one frame. And you can see that after the collision, the distance covered by the cart per second changes. The velocity has changed. I'll just keep clicking. And get a few more data points. And that should be enough, really. So that's the data for cart one, which is the incoming moving cart. Then I click backward through the frames. And now I'm going to focus on cart 2, which is initially stationary. So I go back to Set Active Point and I switch my point series to X2, Y2. And then click on Add Point. And I click on cart 2. All right, and that takes care of the points. Click on Page, Auto Arrange, and for the graph here, I only want the X coordinates, so I uncheck the Y coordinates. And you can see there's a very nice graph. Here, the X1 series is in red and the X2 series is in green. And you can see how the velocity changes. Now, to analyze the collision, I will look at the slope of the position versus time graph just before and just after the collision. I could use the velocity graphs instead, but this will be a little bit cleaner. So I first identify roughly when the collision takes place. So the collision, you can see, takes place around here. I know that because that is where the slope of the line changes. Right? You can see it's one slope up to here, another slope up to here. Similarly, here there's should be roughly 0 just before, and afterward there's a non-zero velocity. So I avoid the point of the collision since it's a little confusing, and I'll take the 3 points just before the collision. I'll highlight those, and then I will click on the linear fit button. It asks me which series I'm trying to fit. Am I trying to fit X1 or X2? So right now I'm trying to fit X1. Click on that, and it gives me the slope, which is the velocity before the collision, 1.312 meters per second. So I go to my Excel sheet. I've already set things up. Trial number, initial velocity of cart 1, initial velocity of cart 2, which I know is 0, final velocities of the two carts, mass of cart 2, which has been measured, and I will determine what mass of cart 1 is. So here I put 1.312 meters per second. Go back here. Now I look at the 3 points just after the collision. Again, notice how I'm avoiding the point of the collision because that can be a little ambiguous. So I highlight 3 points just after the collision. Again, do a linear fit of x, and it gives me a velocity of 0.5354. Enter that. And then finally, I want the velocity of cart 2 just after the collision. Highlight those. Select video analysis X2. And the slope here is 1.144. And here I can input the formula that I need. And it gives me that the mass of cart 1 is approximately 74 grams. So that's how I can do the analysis for a video with 2 moving objects. Thanks.